Alright, let's talk about the current trend out here on a lot of the Glock and high point videos. And that is for people to compare a high point to a Glock. And I'm not sure why that trend is. Maybe it's because Glocks are so popular. First off, Glocks are well-made pistols. So are high points. But comparing a high point to a Glock is the whole apples and oranges thing. I don't see the point of trying to compare a $150 gun to a $500 gun. They're not in the same class. They're not in the same category. They're not built for the same thing. Glock is built more of with more of a fighting pistol concept in mind. Militaries use it, law enforcement use it. It is meant to function under any condition. That is the premise behind a Glock. A high point is more for the budget-minded person in mind. It's a basic self-defense handgun. That's all it is. It is what it is. And even High Point Company will tell you that. It's just a basic gun for self-defense. It's not supposed to be an uber law enforcement weapon or a military weapon or anything like that. It just will not function as that. Again, the High Point, it's a $150 low-end budget firearm. The Glock is more of a mid-range, right around $500 or so, more geared towards law enforcement, military, and such like that. I really like the high points. You know that, for any of you that's watched a lot of my older videos. But it is what it is. You know, high point is a very basic firearm for basic self-defense. It works, but I never see the point in comparing it to a Glock. If anything, for a high point, I think a good company, or actually two good companies you can compare the high point to, would be Jimenez Arms and Cobra Arms. Those are the two companies that come to mind that also make very inexpensive firearms that I think would fall in the same category, and you can call them direct competitors with high point. Comparing a high point to a Glock, it just doesn't really make much sense to me. It's like comparing a Ford to a Ferrari. I own both, and you've seen my shooting video. I just got a recent shooting video with the high point here, and you can see it works just fine. It's accurate enough and whatnot. But I will tell you, you know, it's the difference between night and day when you shoot these two. As far as the reliability goes, I know that's a big debate around here, and I know some high point guys might say this, but as far as reliability goes, if you really wanted to compare high point with Glock, Glock is going to win every single time. It's just the way it is. I really like the high points. They're a great little handgun for how much you spend for them. I mean, $150 will get you a heck of a handgun. Granted, this one I did a little bit of things to customize it, but you know, $150 will get you a real capable little gun. But if you're going to try and compare it to a Glock, or even sometimes even compare it to 1911s or whatnot, I don't think it's not going to come out well for the high point. It is what it is. I know there's a lot of tests out there that you know, on YouTube. Iraq veteran 8888 did some nice tests with the high point, torture tests, and it does show, you know, that the high point is very strong. But at the same token, Glock has done a lot of tests too. Glock is in use by militaries. Everybody knows it's one of the most popular law enforcement handguns out there in the U.S. today. There's a few different militaries in Europe that field the Glock as their primary service weapon. It is what it is. I just don't see the point of a comparison. The Glock's already done all the torture tests and all that stuff. There's the one torture test on YouTube. I may put a link up of the guy that did several different types of torture tests to his Glock 21, including burying it in the ground for a year or something like that, and he dropped it out of a plane. He did this, that, and the other thing to it. Then after all that, you know, put rounds through it and it worked just fine. you know, that's a testament to the Glock design. You know, there's just going to be no comparison to that. If you did the same thing to a High Point, the High Point would fail, in my opinion. That's not really a knock against High Point. High Point is a $150 gun. It is what it is. It's a $150 gun that works well. The Glock is a $500 gun. It works well. They're just designed for two different things. So comparing them against each other isn't really fair. Again, you know, compare High Points to the Jimenez arms and the Cobra firearms pistols out there, and then compare the Glock to the Springfield Armory, Smith & Wesson. You can even compare a Glock to stuff like HK and SIGs. Even though HK and SIGs are a little bit more expensive, I think the Glock will run up with them with no problem. So with that said, I'll go ahead and stop this video. Again, this is just some of my thoughts. It's not really a comparison between the two. It's just kind of how I feel about a lot of the comments and videos out there trying to compare the two. You really can't do it. It's two different pistols in two different price classes. You know, why would you compare a hatchback with a full-size truck? It just doesn't make sense. So in any case, feel free to leave your comments, questions, video responses, all that good stuff. And thanks for watching.